had warrants for their arrest in the UK, and they did not go to the UK for a meeting. And the UK is going to arrest them if they do come back. There's an effort, of course, by the Lady Scotland to not have that happen. I doubt that that'll work out. What does that tell you? Does it sound like things are falling apart for some of the people that think they're beyond the law? I think so. So if you go to Reuters, you type in Israel launches airstrikes in Gaza, you'll probably get it. Here's one I wanted to talk to you about a little bit more, and then we're going to get deeper and deeper into these or get more serious. The Telegraph, William Butler warns of a massive U.S. dollar collapse. Professor of the Monetary Policy Committee and a member who is now at the London School of Economics said this increasing disenchantment with the dollar will result in an exodus of foreign cash from the U.S. The warning comes despite the dollar having strengthened significantly against other major currencies, including sterling and the euro. After hitting historic lows last year, it will reignite fears about the currency's prospects. Now, I know that there is a belief system out there that says nothing's going to be any good and even gold and silver is going to be bad, and I agree. Eventually, in a total collapsed society where everybody is in disarray, that would occur, but a collapse in countries just doesn't go from currency to nothing. It goes from currency to worthless currency, meaning it takes 10 of them to buy what one of them did. And that then migrates into precious metals like silver and gold. And then at that point in time, many people actually start bartering. Excuse me, let me get a drink. So many people start bartering. And so anyway, he says there will be before long a global dumping of the U.S. dollar, including U.S. government assets. Old habits die hard. The U.S. dollar, isn't that the truth? An old habit. You know what that means? What if I told you to go get a new email address at an encrypted and secure email site? Am I going to hear some whining? Probably, because old habits die hard. The U.S. dollar and the U.S. Treasury bills and bonds are viewed as a safe haven by many, but learning takes place. He said the dollar has been kept elevated in recent years by what some call dark matter. Dark matter, can you believe it? Or another word he used was American alpha. I guess that's a pejoric term also. As an assumption that the U.S. would earn more on its overseas investments than foreign investors could own or earn on American assets. But this has also been dismantled recently. The past 8 years of imperial, get this, imperial overstretch and hubris and domestic and international abuse of power on part of the Bush administration, and now we can say the Obama administration. Let's replace the names. The abuse of the power on part of the Republicans and the Democrats has left the U.S. materially weakened financially. Folks, I'm going to talk to you. If you're from the United States, we're facing an election this November. You're hating what you see? Don't elect a Republican. We've got to get over the answer is on the other side of the other party. You've been given Democrats, you've been given Republicans, you've been going back and forth between those two for years, and look where we're at. If they didn't have names for parties and they made you elect people by their name, we'd be much better off. Because you know what? It's so much easier, and our habits are so much, oh, I just like the Democrats. Yeah, I feel your pain too. It's how you get people like Bill Clinton and Hillary. Is the Secret Service targeting the birthers? Yep, guess what? Over the past year, Secret Service agents have been charged with protecting Obama, have now taken a keen interest in the birther movement, as it's called. That's a group of folks that are anti-Obama. No, they are anti-Obama isn't an American. The idea has been widely and repeatedly debunked, but that has not stopped birthers. Now, why would that be the case? Mother Jones, you've heard of Mother Jones magazine. There's a huge article in there. Really, it says here, of particular concern to the Secret Service are individuals who are trying to interest federal prosecutors in bringing criminal charges against the president. Hey, guess what? Now the thought crime of going through and using the system, which is perfectly legal, is now fraught with terror because you even try to use the process of grievance that you're given, and you might get a visit from the Secret Service. How dare you even think of going to court, huh? Well, bringing criminal charges against presidents for fraud and treason, a movement spearheaded and started, they say, by retired Navy Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick. Lieutenant Commander. He isn't a lieutenant in the Navy. He is a Lieutenant Commander. When you see the movies, these guys have great big gold things down at the bottom of their sleeve. Commanders are not admirals, but they are one below. So we've got this guy that's a Lieutenant Commander saying, that isn't my president, and I want to go to court, and I want this heard. Well, guess what? You might get in trouble. You know who these people like Pelosi use when they get upset with people? Hello, this is the IRS. Oh, yes, this is Pelosi. I've got a lady out there that's running against me, and her name is Cindy Sheehan. Will you audit her for me, please? Isn't that how it works? At the flick of a switch, elite teams of Chinese hackers attached to the People's Liberation Army launched a high-tech assault on Britain's computer systems with devastating consequences. Within minutes, the country's power stations, water companies, air traffic controls, governments, and financial systems were totally shut down. This is being published in the Telegraph. In the meantime, why did they get so mad? Well, anyway, there happens to be a fella. He's a 53-year-old mini cab driver. I guess Britain or UK has mini cabs. I guess those are those little Morris minor cars, maybe. I don't know. Cooper cars. Yeah, Mini Coopers. Maybe. But he's mentally ill, and he's from North London, and somehow or other, when you're mentally ill, do you know how easy it is to talk people into doing something wrong? They haven't got a conscious understand right or wrong, so they just trust everybody's just doing the right thing. And so he was coerced into bringing 4 kilos of heroin into China 2 years ago. Well, he got caught. You know, he wasn't as smooth as opera. Why would you, as a drug dealer, give millions of dollars of money to a mentally ill person to take care of? That wasn't even smart. I think the person that gave the drugs must be mentally ill. In the meantime, this person was killed by the Chinese. I feel your pain, Chinese. I understand you. Our wonderful new coming into awareness